When it comes to men and texting, nothing could be more confusing, right? You probably want to know what men think when we're texting. What do we mean when we're texting? Let's talk about the truth about men and texting. Today I'm going to show you some insider secrets. Hey, it's Cavallo from datingflirt.com and datingadviceguru.com. Welcome back to the dating and relationship secrets you need to know. Let's just jump right in with the secrets, alrighty? Yeah? Alright, secret number one is men enjoy texting because it's convenient and it's quick. This is pretty much the same reason that everybody likes texting, right? But keep in mind this little tidbit for the next secret, which is secret number two. He texts you more at the start because it's easier to flirt this way through texting. You see, there's simply less ways for a guy to screw it up through texting. So you're probably wondering why most guys stop texting you as much later on after you've kind of got the relationship going, right? The reason is because he never really liked texting in the first place. I hate to tell you this, but it's true. Honestly, he just wanted to have a quick and easy way to build up some attraction with you. It's like a little video game for him. It's the flirt video game. And let's face it, texting is like a dating simulator in a lot of ways. You get plenty of time to think out your responses, so he doesn't have that to worry about. Nothing is really all that important or serious in texting, right? It's kind of just fun stuff, and it's kind of hard to screw it up. You may angst over it as if, a mistake in any text were the most horrible thing in the world, but deep down inside, I think most people understand that texting is fairly innocent. So that secret alone should reassure you. Don't take texting too seriously when it comes to men, especially at the start. Next secret is his texting will be irregular. Sure, you might find a window of time where he's not really busy and he can just text you all the time. Maybe an hour where you just back and forth, right? Those are fun. But the truth is that most guys don't have the time or patience to sit on their phones and banter with you back and forth all the time. He's looking for an amusing diversion. In a way, this is kind of like I said, it's a video game for him, right? So recognize that he will not text you as regularly and as frequently as you will want him to, okay? He will text when it's convenient or when he's got nothing else going on, or maybe if he has a question for you and he's curious about you. But don't expect him to text you the way your girlfriends do. This is one of the huge mistakes that many women make that leaves them confused and hurt later on. Which leads me to the next secret. Here's another secret. If you over-text a guy, he can get bored of you. Early on, it's very tempting to text a little bit too much. After all, he wants to get to know you, you want to get to know him, you want to get the flirting started. It's a delightful energy, right? Especially when the infatuation is high. But you run a risk of falling into a very big trap here. As I was saying before, a guy will text you like a maniac one day, and then he disappears completely the next day. His feelings haven't changed necessarily, he's just preoccupied with something else. Men don't multitask well. We are more about focusing in linear processing, one thing after the other. Women like to do multiple things at the same time. You might like to keep track of what's going on in your phone and while you're working or you're shopping. You can be having multiple text conversations at the same time, but it's very unlikely that he's going to do this. So don't be surprised if he is sporadic with his texting. And you want to back off before he loses interest in the conversation. Hey, have you ever had problems texting guys? You ever had a guy ghost you or disappear on you? If you have, then there might be something incompatible and a little bit off with how you're texting him. You can find out what kind of texter you are in my new quiz. Go on over to datingflirt.com/texting quiz. That's datingflirt.com/texting quiz. All right, next secret up is be the first one to end text conversations. This is one of those skills for texting men that very few women have the self-control or the self-discipline to actually do. But if you know it, if you know the secret and you can do it, you can have him wrapped around your finger with just this one little secret. Maybe you start up on a conversation with him in texting and it's getting really juicy. The hardest thing for you to do right now is to walk away from it, isn't it? But that's the most important thing you can do. Remember my first rule of show business that applies to dating. Always leave them wanting more. That's 5 words you should have tattooed somewhere on your body. Maybe you want to write it on your mirror instead. I'm sure that's probably a little better than a tattoo, okay, but you get my point. This one principle is super important in texting, okay? And it's essential for your dating. Leave him wanting more. Men respond the most to women who are most difficult to attain. We want challenge. We want to put in the effort to win you over. Because if it works, then we are invested in you, and we will not want to walk away from that investment. You might have heard me refer to this as the investment principle of relationships and men. And it's critical that you understand it and put it to work for you. No man wants to walk away from something that he has yet to get his investment back from. Keep that in mind. It can be that busted up old Mustang in the garage that he's been working on for years, or that crappy stock he just won't sell. So the longer you keep him working for you, the more he's going to fall in love with you. It's really that simple. Next secret is men like it short and sweet. Again, his attention span for texting is going to be limited. If you inundate him with multiple multi-page texts, or a bunch of questions in the same text, or an over-detailed description of your day, or a blow-by-blow account of how your girlfriend did you wrong or something, look, you can do this stuff all you want, but you're going to lose the guy if you do. And that should not be a surprise to you. At the same time, this means you can't really read into his texts very much. You can't be over-interpreting him. So he texted you short, or he was curt. That doesn't mean anything. And if you start to get all crazy and insecure about it, what it means is you're going to do something that's probably going to mess it up. At the same time, if he does text you a bunch of paragraphs about him, well, that's a great sign. He's into you because he's thinking you're worth taking a little extra time to do something that he actually doesn't really like doing. Yeah, the texting. The next secret is, if his texts sound awkward or goofy or unusual or whatever, it's probably a good sign. The fact is that a guy will probably lose his ability to communicate very well if he likes somebody. He just kind of loses that. Very often, he doesn't want to play games, and he wants to be straightforward and honest. Women have this kind of effect on us. So consider that if his texts sound a little bit weird or awkward, there's a very good chance that he is infatuated with you and he isn't filtering his thoughts. He may even say that in some of his texts. I'm just kind of emptying my head here. I'm just, my tongue is loose. Whatever, he's just going to admit it. Hey, before I keep going here, smart women get these tips every week. Yeah, right. And I know you're a smart woman. So hit subscribe, turn on notifications. You can get these videos every week and you'll know when they're released. Plus, it helps the channel out. It helps to support me. So go ahead, do it now. And the next secret is, if he seems thoughtless or he repeats things in his texts and it's triggering your intuition, there's a good chance he might be texting multiple women. All right, guys who text many women at the same time probably have a stock, like a portfolio of things that they're going to say in their texts. So if he repeats himself or he forgets very obvious things about you, especially if you texted those things and you can see it right there on the phone, you might want to turn up your skeptical filter. Just watch out a little bit. He might be a little bit of a player. Next secret is, emojis suck. Dude, I hate to tell you this, but women, you love emojis. But men, we pretty much hate them. Yeah, especially when a woman uses 45,000 of them in her texts, along with 30,000 exclamation points. Look, to a guy, their meaning is just a little too confusing. We don't have the time to interpret what you mean by these, even if they are fairly standard emojis. Don't get clever. Speak plainly. Limit your emojis to smiley faces. Let him show you which ones he uses, because he understands their meaning. If he uses them, you can use them. Another part of the secret is, don't use too many abbreviations. Abbreviations are just another form of emoji to us. Sure, we know what ROTFL means, but some of them, who knows sometimes what IMHO is, or FWIW, or HMU. Do you know that one? Really, if we have to go looking it up on Google, you've already lost the game. And here's probably the most important secret. You ready? Stop texting. Yeah, you heard me right. One of the best things you can do is just to stop texting him and call him up on the phone. I know this sounds crazy in this day and age of smartphones. After all, if God had wanted us to talk, he would have helped us invent texting, right? Well, okay, that one doesn't exactly work. But the truth is that he really does want to talk to you, this guy. Maybe God too, but I don't know. This guy really wants to talk to you. In fact, he prefers it. Texting is cold, and it leaves way too much room for us to make a mistake. And the fact of the matter is that texting doesn't remind him about all the reasons why he's pursuing you in the first place. That's just text on the screen. He needs to see your face, hear your voice. Really think about that. That's huge. If you keep things in texting, you run the risk of him forgetting what the chemistry was like when you met him. Hearing your voice will wake it right back up. And this doesn't matter how long you've had a relationship either. You need to keep him remembering why he's attracted to you. Most women are scared to talk to guys right now. There seems to be a very big social divide, and it doesn't need to be there. Now, of course, you probably want to know how to text him, what to text him, what not to text him. As you can tell from these secrets, there's a lot to it as far as texting guys, but the principles are simple. You can learn them in just a couple of hours and instantly get results with any man in your life. Maybe you've got a guy that you're interested in right now. Maybe you've got a guy that you've been dating for a while. Maybe you've got a guy that you just want a commitment from. Maybe you want to get a guy back that you lost. It's easy to get him in any of those cases, all through texting. Now, I just put the finishing touches on 2 of my most requested programs. For a limited time, I'm going to give away my free texting magic program, free to anybody who gets my Text Him Back system. That's right, you're going to learn every single secret you need to know about texting men. What to say, how to say it, what words to use, what tricks can you use to make him fall for you using texting? How do you get that date that you want with him so badly? How do you get this guy to want you so badly? I'm going to show you each and every secret. Go take my quiz right now and you can find out what kind of a texter you are and how he sees you in your texting. Go to datingfire.com/texting quiz. That's datingfire.com/texting quiz. Go find out, and I'll even show you how to get your free copy of my texting magic program. datingfire.com, texting quiz. All right, we're here again. You know it. If you're new here, or even if you're not, do the big 3 before you run away. Like and subscribe so you can get this stuff every week and I can recommend videos to you. Turn on the notifications. Click that little bell icon or whatever there is on the whatever you're seeing this video on so that you can get the new videos as soon as they come out. And by the way, if you're already subscribed to me, please send this link to somebody, to any woman you know that could use it. Number 3, comment below. Do you agree with these? Is there another tip you want? Is there another video you want? Do you want a part 2? Go ahead, tell me. Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget, wait a few more seconds. I'm going to try and I'll tell YouTube to pop a recommended video right here in the corner for you. Hey, this is Cavallo. As always, live and love with passion.